Hello, everybody. It is July 25, 2026. It's just a couple of minutes past 10 p.m. I'll wait for you guys to receive the notification. And yes, it did work. The trailer, attaching the new trailer worked. So you'll probably get to hear it on your end, or at least when we replay the live stream later, or tomorrow, whatever, you'll get to hear the trailer. So I'll wait for people to come in, and I hope everybody is doing well on this evening. Hello, 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 everybody. Hope everybody's doing well. And I was able to attach the trailer, so I don't know how it appears on your end. Like, if you hear it when you come in, I'll have to figure it out. Hi, Landshark, welcome. Hi, STL, welcome. Oh, you're here early. Good evening. How's everybody doing? I see there are... The trailer's not working. I attached it. Hi, River Bluff. Hi, LJ. Welcome. The trailer actually attached, but I don't know how it works. I don't know. I've never done it before, but it finally did attach this evening because it was re-edited. It was just like a little over 3 minutes, and it had to be under 3 minutes. So I was able to attach it, but I don't know how it works, like if it's on the replay of the chat or if you hear it in the beginning. So you're not hearing it at all when you sign into the chat? Yeah, 297. Yeah, it was perfect. It was, I attached it. It worked. But I don't know, I've never listened to it before. I don't know if it'll be like on the replay or if you get to hear it coming in. But I've got it on my phone. So if you're not hearing it, we'll play it because, the Perps love my song. They love it so much that we have to play it. We have to play it for them. Minus the commercial. Minus this advertisement.
You followed me across state lines. You really thought I'd run. Watch me 30 years in Alabama, Jersey girl with perfect plans. Garden raising my daughter, healing cats with gentle hands.
Yeah, it's really hard to get online sometimes. Look, Zoomy's here. Zoomy's joining the live stream. He's sitting right here. Let's see. Oh yeah. Well, no, I don't know if he's going to Thailand yet. Remember to hit the thumbs up, everybody. Thank you, STL. No, I've got Zoomy sitting right here. I mean, the only reason he's inside is because it's like rainy outside. I mean, not heavy rain, just like a little bit of rain. Oh, you're in Manila. Oh, good. Oh, you did make it there. I wasn't sure exactly when it was going to be. That is so cool. Oh, you have to let us know what the food is like. It's got to be better than here. Yeah, that's really good that you're there. Do they interfere with your... STL says, River, be aware of the lady boys. Yeah, I was watching a video. about those lady boys. Oh my goodness. You got to watch out because they still have something between their leggies. The left ear for 3 months. That's exactly what they do. Hi, Run-In Month. I'm not sure how to pronounce your name there. Welcome. Hi, Just Me. Welcome, welcome. Yeah, they go after the ears. Oh, Thailand is 2 months away. Oh. Oh, wow. Well, you're getting there. You're not in the United States anymore. That's good. But it has to be strange, you know? Different language, different people. Oh my goodness. Yeah, some of them look better than the women. Those lady boys. They spend so much money trying to look like a woman. No, Zumi. You have to sit here.
Was skincare in the 1950s actually better?
Hi, Julius. Welcome, welcome. The food is probably going to be really good over there. Zoomy. The one thing about I'm in such a small space here, and Zoomy is quite large. He just knocked my books down. He knocks my pens down. He just knocks everything down. He just jumped down here. So Creepy's acting up early already. Oh, oh no. The food is delicious and real. I've never had better orange juice. You probably have real oranges there, no glyphosate. Well, it doesn't surprise me that Creepy is acting up. Creepy is around my property 24/7, every day of the week. You could hear it on the cameras. When I go into the cats building to clean up in there, I'm usually in there quite a while. Oh, I've been better, SCL. I'm not gonna air out all my complaints. I mean, you hear it on my videos, right? Like I'm angrier than hell. So yeah, it is. It is. It's very sick, very sadistic. Hi, Amy. Welcome, welcome. And the thing is, I mean, you guys don't know this about me just only because you only know me basically from the channel. But in New Jersey, literally, I was like the most private person. Most private person. Like, even like when I was dating, I didn't even talk about the guys I was dating, you know? Just a very private person. Didn't talk to a lot of people. Hi, I was friendly. Hi, Helen. Welcome, welcome. Oh, Australia. What time is it there? River Bluff says, I just got into Manila yesterday. It's a normal major city, some nice people and great vibes here, but the ladies of the night approaching me is already a little old. Oh, well, they know that you're an American, they're trying to get some money, right? They target people that like their privacy. They want to strip you of all your privacy. I was a very private person. Quiet, private, just did my own thing. And plus, I was divorced, so I was like working all the time, going to school. For 2 years, my daughter wasn't even allowed to have a car at the university, so I had to drive there back and forth for 2 years. She loves you long time. That's so funny. Oh, it's midnight there. Midday. Midday. Okay. A tall white guy equals money, apparently. Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, obviously, you're gonna stick out like a sore thumb. You're not gonna look like them. And like years ago, I mean, I guess it's like a really a long time ago. My daughter went to China on she was doing it for school, her last year of a university, and she went with a bunch of people to China, and like everybody wanted to take a photo of her with her. It was so funny. She says, "I come here as like all the little Asian people wanted to take photos with them." Like, oh, they're Americans. Yeah, they she loves you as long as you can pay. Yes, entrapment and pregnancy. Oh yeah, don't do that. Yeah, I never thought of that. I guess there's so many things you have to watch out for when you go to another country. SDL says, I have so much respect for all my fellow TIs. The longer this goes on, we are warriors. You know, all these people that are hiding in the shadows, they're hiding because they're scared shitless. Because if they were to show their faces, we would know who they are and what they're about, and we'd be able to tell them off in their face. Let's see, just saw your latest and greatest video. They're so brazen, and you're 1,000% correct. They think they're never going to have to pay that running tab. Well, I have a really long fuse, but when it gets to the end, I'm done. And then I'll just get really quiet and then do what I have to do. Like the stuff that they're doing to me is off the charts. Now they're attacking my eBay account too. I have had 28 listings removed, but this is not normal. It's not just their AI flagging listings. Because I'm looking at the listings, somebody went in there and changed all the dollar amounts of my listings. So that's something else I'm going to have to do is address that with eBay. And it's such a pain. It's not like it was like years ago when you can always get like a live person on the phone. Hi, Annie. Welcome. Yeah, it is. It's very tough. You know, I was listening to a Brian Coffrin, whistleblower. Hi, Jerry. Welcome. And he was saying that, all this targeting stuff, it affects your brain, your central nervous system. And I know the stress is cumulative, that it can literally take years off your life. Yeah, it was very, very, very private back in New Jersey. I was involved in a lot of things. Like I was the chairperson for the local alliance for alcohol and drug and alcohol alliance, and then I started that Narratine and stuff. So I always keep myself busy. Like I do like to do things. Like I was a cookie mom. Like I had cookies all in my garage. Girl Scout cookies. So I was always doing something. Like I don't. I like to be busy. I like contributing to society. I like, helping people out. Let's see. I know running on. Oh, it's running on empty. Oh, that's how it's pronounced. Okay, running on empty. Oh, that's cool. Hi, Ace of Cups. Welcome, welcome. Hi, Eden. Welcome. It's so good to see you. The redness and the burning of the skin. Oh, you should see what they've done to my face. I don't know what they have done, but it's like some kind of metallic substance. I haven't had time. I've got to photograph it again and post it online. These losers. And then, I'm so grateful for Kay Griggs for her 7 hour her 7 I thought I had long testimonies. Her 7 hour testimony about her ex-military husband in his drunken stupors would tell her and reveal in his diaries all the things that he did. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. I see only the little 8 thumbs. It says that there are 26 people and only 8 thumbs up. Come on, come on, come on. Hit those thumbs up, please. Thank you. But like when I listen to her testimony, it just validates what I'm experiencing here and the way she describes it's spelled pronounced. No, I saw that. And I knew what you were saying. Oh, you're thumbing. Thank you for thumbing up. So, oh yeah, we got it up to 16. Thank you. I was so grateful for her testimony because it just validated a lot of what's going on here. Like I know it's not all my neighbors doing this stuff. It's some little other psychopaths, in addition to the neighbors. It's other kinds of psychopaths that have a lot more military kind of experience. They have to. They're wearing these invisibility suits and cutting the wires to my motion sensor lights so that we can't capture them. And every time I go to take a bath or a shower, they disconnect my Wi-Fi pronto so that the cameras are disconnected. Let's see. Hi, Fred. Welcome. Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth is the model of drunk military husband. Oh, well, there are so many. Hi, Powers Bova. Oh, thank you. Thank you for the jewels. Thank you. Hi, Helen. Welcome. It does feel like 100 needles. What they do to my cats is disgusting. Hi, Pamela. Welcome. Yes, some of them are being paid. The other ones not involved may know about it, but they're too afraid to say anything. I agree. The perfect crime. Pay the ones to do the crime and then intimidate the others. It's pathetic how obsessed they are. Hunted in secret. That's a good one. Pray for my mother, please. After 18 years of targeting, she has become totally paranoid. It's now gone. She's gone missing? When did she go missing? Did you report her missing? How old is she? Is that intentional? Did she intentionally disappear? Oh, that's not good. Ugh. Let's say they took your key for your cameras and disabled the mouse. Yeah, if she's targeted, she's not paranoid. Exactly. She's hit with microwave poison, manipulated your heart. They're cowards. The DoD's budget has increased 2016 to 2026, 500 billion per year to 1 trillion per year, doubled in 10 years. Yeah, you know what I did? I reported that on my channel about 2 weeks ago. Oh, she won't return your call. You saw her 2.5 days ago. You've reported her missing. Oh no, that's not good. That's not good news. Creepy is having an asthma attack. That's too funny. What are they doing with the extra 500 billion? Oh, they're probably paying those paid informants. What do they call them? Human sources. They call them human sources. It's just a fancy schmancy name for rat snitches. That's all they are. They're rats. They're little rat snitches. They're all cockroaches. Just like the cockroaches they spread around the property. That's just like that. Rat snitch cockroaches. They're disgusting creatures. Because anybody who harasses another person that they don't know, even, and then they spread slander and lies, it's going to come back to them. Creepy may have something stuck in his throat. Oh, maybe his programming is a little off, you know? They are vermin. Everything is a lie in our country. Everything that we thought this country stood for is a lie. Yeah, freedom. Yeah. The system is working exactly as it was designed, but it's not for the people. They have targeted Amy very badly. Your story makes me feel that I'm not alone. I feel you're much stronger than me. All my documents are gone. I feel overwhelmed. It is overwhelming. It's one thing after the next, after the next. It's like you just can't even live your life. And like I'm busy all the time anyway. Like I've got all these cats to take care of and feed. I've got baby raccoons on the porch this evening. The easiest way to control a large number of people is to give authority to some people to persecute other people. That's a good point. Yeah. I know what they do to animals is disgusting. I mean, so what's happening to my animals here in Kentucky is pretty bad, but they did some pretty nasty stuff to my animals in New Jersey too. And to my mother's cat. Hi JJ, welcome. Yeah, they stole my New Jersey driver's my license plates that I wanted to keep. I just wanted them. You know, I lived in New Jersey for 30 years. I wanted my license plates and they stole my license plates. They stole something related to your property and you replied, "Do you mind They stole my deed." See, you know, when the deeds are filed at the county's office, there's a stamp placed on that. And I wanted that copy. So I called and they sent it to me via email. And I didn't have a chance to download it because it was on my birthday and it was a very busy day. And then I had the damage, the vandalism to my outer field, you know, with the McKinneys. Clifton and Linda McKinney vandalized my property. So I was busy with that. And that's what they do. It's one horrific thing after the next after the next. Of course, they always use your birthday. The night before, they crack my eyeglasses. That's probably like the 8th pair of eyeglasses since I'm living here. Same thing in World War II Germany. They give the bottom feeders of society more money and power. And you can control everything, yes. The list of crimes toward me, my property. Hi, Valentina St. John. Pets, people is pages and pages long. I'm sure we all have books. We could all write a book. And that's why I have provided so many testimonies, because year after year after year that goes by, you kind of forget all the little intricate details. And that's why I encourage you to, even if you don't provide a testimony, like to write things down, like repeat them to yourself. Hi, Joe. Welcome. Welcome. It's been a weird week for you, a little late. I know, it's been a very weird week. You know, well, Mercury turned direct, so people are catching up with things that weren't going so well when it was retrograde. Hi, Jesse. Jesse, welcome. You had to start over from zero 4 times in your life. You're 44 years old, been through hell and escaped death several times. Well, I believe you. I believe you. These idiots are building a system that's going to enslave themselves. It's not going to work out the way they anticipated. I knew that years ago, even though I didn't even realize I was targeted. I just knew that this agenda that they had was not going to go as planned. and eternity in hell, all because you had to be malignant towards a complete stranger. Exactly. Let's see, you called your lender and told them what was happening to me in my home. They said no one can do anything to your home because it's flagged that you're being harassed. Okay, well, that's interesting. Yes, yes, that's a good point. You look at them like your kids are going to be enslaved. You won't be, and they won't be there to protect them. You could pass tomorrow, and you created this slave society. That's true. Oh, you're in Maine. Okay, so you're targeted in Maine. Is eternity in hell for some Waffle House gift cards and getting to watch people poo. The feral cat they threw over your fence had three kittens right after you buried your 13-year-old dog. Now they stalk the feral kittens. Oh my goodness. They stole your EpiPen and you think you fractured your wrist. Oh no. Yes, yes, you're a cat with 9 lives. Yeah, well, all of us are. And they don't like cats, right? They don't like cats. The perps don't think about the future consequences, even though some of them understand. They only think about survival in the here and now. That's the mindset of an addict. And that's very dysfunctional, also. Let's see, you have never been to a Waffle House. That's on your bucket list. Oh, I've been to a Waffle House. You lived in Maine once, Newcastle. I've visited Maine, but I've never lived there. Let's see, perps would rather be the persecutors than the persecuted. Let's see, join the stalkers and you'll get gift cards to eat for free. They have the app on the phone to do the stalking, so they have to give their GPS for the fusion centers to know their location at all times. So they're being tracked also. Hunted in Secret says, I'm the only person on the planet that knows my mother is not crazy and has stuck by her side to see the truth of this evil program. She's become my best friend over the years, and I miss her bad. Well, I really hope that you find her. My mom believed me also. I was actually on the phone with my mother when she was saying she says, I don't know how they must be getting into your house somehow. It's got to be through a window. Like my mother kept saying, it's got to be through a window. So I walked around my whole house talking to my mom on the phone, and literally it was like the last window downstairs that was unlocked. That's how they were getting into my house at night. They were coming in through that window downstairs, the window that was underneath my bedroom at 52 Sutton Drive, Manalapan, New Jersey. I know. Where does the target? Well, there are definitely places that people have said are better than where they're living. Some towns are worse than others. Some states are worse than others. It's virtually impossible to carry everything around that you need. It really is. These perps will dig a tunnel to get into your home. I've heard that. I've heard that. Your mom was also a target and didn't realize until she was killed last year. Irradiated her retirement home. Then the nurses at the hospital did the rest. That's what they did to my mother. My mother was killed. Unfortunately, I have testimony on what they did to my mother with Dr. Brian Artis interviewed me on that. Yes, it is. Well, it seems to be generational to a certain degree because my father was targeted. His wife was targeted. It seems, and both of my brothers. Don't go to Illinois if you want better. Oh no, no. Oh, definitely don't go there. Do not go there. It's bad there. Exactly. The criminals know the neighbors, they know too much. It comes with a price. They become a liability, which makes them expendable. Yes, per Kathy O'Brien. I heard that. Well, he doesn't, like, even without her saying that about him, he just seemed like creepy to me. Like, I don't know these politicians, but just looking at, you can tell by looking at somebody that they're creepy. Your dad was stopped by a cop one time for no reason. We had cops waiting out by our home in the country on a gravel road. Me and my sister would notice it. Helen says, I believe it's generational as well as opportunistic. I do believe it's opportunistic. They definitely go after women after they get divorced. The targeting in Hartford County, Connecticut is absolutely insane. Hi, TG. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up when you come in. Yeah, I can't wait to hear what else, for the length of time that you're going to be in Thailand. I think you said it would be about 3 months that you're going to be there. You have to report back to us on what you're experiencing there. Let's see. LJ explained it, blamed it on my brother, but now I wonder if it's generational and they didn't have the precise tracking like they do now. Absolutely. They did not have the kind of tracking or technology then that there is now. Oh, you had them on your flights. Wow. And now at your hotel. Yeah, they do manage to pop up at hotels. When I was house searching here in Kentucky, there was a woman. She had a little bounce in her walk. She couldn't wait to radiate me at night. I passed her in the hallway at the hotel in Berea. And it was the same biatch that I saw July of 2019, the first time I went into town here. She had that smirky grin on her face. She's probably some private private agency, private contractor. Let's see, you have a fanny pack with your basic essentials. In my wildest dreams, I never imagined I would feel like I was on the run. I raised 2 kids and now this. I agree. Absolutely. If the gang service follows you to the elevator, try to. Oh, that's so funny. Try to gas them out. Let's see. I have no idea who is behind it here. I'm guessing the US government is paying for it all worldwide. Well, they collaborate. They have information sharing, and with FISA 702, they have prior contracts. So even though FISA 702 may be on hold, that doesn't mean the existing contracts ended. They still exist, and they still have a contract begin and end date. It's the US government running it. I believe that all the money we give to other countries is part of the agreement to do the gang stalking with it. That's probably true. Deep state shadow government covering the bill, not the US. Okay, I don't know. It seems like there's some parallel, some duplicitous We've got like some kind of duplicitous government. Let's see, you stop for having slightly crooked license plate. Oh, it's so ridiculous. You got a ticket for not slowing down to make a U-turn. Oh yeah. Well, that's what's called a cheap ticket, right? Let's see, you were stalked in 5 countries: Spain, France, Germany, Switzerland, and Poland. Creepy creepy needs an inhaler. The creepy voice is a constipated goat. Oh goodness. Please remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. Like I see, like there are 48 people and 24 thumbs up. Let's see, you got gang stuck real bad in a hotel in Florida from the first time I was there. Before I knew about gang stalking targeted individuals, I was horrified that it followed me from Connecticut to Florida. Oh yeah, workplace mobbing is bad. It will follow you wherever you go. Yes, I'm sure it's a hard work being a creepy voice. Yeah. Knowing full well what you're going through now, I think it would be interesting to go on vacation out of country. Well, it's definitely going to be different. Like somebody who moved to Thailand told me that the actual gang stalking pretty much disappeared, but the satellite harassment persisted. That kind of targeting persisted, and it seems to be like a language barrier with the gang stalkers in other countries. So remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. I also think it's the military. I definitely think it's the military. It could be like retired military. It could be military that are in reserve. The reserves. But it's definitely military grade stuff going on here. And that could be another reason why that law enforcement doesn't get involved, because that's like it's above their pay grade. That's above what they're able to, um I think. It's definitely the military at the top. Absolutely. The DHS follows their orders and they run the fusion centers. You had 2 military copters over your window yesterday and posted on X. Yeah, I get them here like every day, the copters. More, let's see, there were 2 yesterday that I jotted down. Let's see. Yeah, on Friday, there was a copter at 2 p.m. Later in the day, my cameras were disconnected. These effers hit me in the right knee as I was walking to the coop, and then they hit my upper left calf in the kitchen with some kind of energy device. It feels like pricking. Yeah, that's called the military of war. How wonderful! They keep changing their names. Yeah, that's a good point. Law enforcement is a misnomer. They're not enforcing laws. They're just harassing people. A lot of times, at least what I'm seeing on YouTube, these police auditor videos, it's like off the charts. Prisoners on assignment. When you're laying in bed and almost falling asleep, then you get jolted and your whole body twitches. Yeah. You just emailed me. Oh, you emailed me copter pictures. Okay, I'll go check it out. Let's see. You think it's generational? It involves the theft of identities. I don't understand it, but it seems as though it has to do with land claims. I feel as though I'm being erased. Well, they definitely go after land, that's for sure. And I found out that they were doing that to my father also with a house that they owned. Yes, we have tech in us that they use to see our vitals. They know when you're about to fall asleep and wake you up. You laugh at the honeypots. I don't know. There are no honeypots around here. Unless my landscaper is a honeypot. He's like doing good work for me and then he destroys my property. Let's see, you've got guys in smart 3 gang stalking. Yes, I feel that way too, SCL. Experimented on. Oh, your father-in-law was in the military for 20 years. Oh my goodness, that's disgusting. They do that in the Cats building. And there was a testimony that I given to Megs B, and she went to my Facebook page at the time to see that there was a woman who had only one cat. And she said that the stalkers would come into her house and pee in her cat's litter box. I mean, is that disgusting? They also harassed her outside of her home, so maybe she was targeted too. You just don't know because overall, people can get harassed by somebody even if they're not being blacklisted. Yeah, they pee everywhere. They're like feral animals. They pee, they spread blood. They've like spread blood on my front door. They're just disgusting. They left a tongue on my porch. I so wish, like, at some point, I just wish I were making more money on YouTube because then I would subscribe for StreamYard so that I could show you photos. Because I can't show you anything in this live stream at all. Yeah, they pee. It is gross. It's disgusting. And they'll still do it. They'll still do it like when we had the during 2020, the 6 feet of separation. Oh, they're still doing disgusting stuff. But that was okay. That was permitted. Everybody else had to wear masks except these losers, right? Let's see, you started wondering about it because of peeing in their underwear drawer. At the same time, she's not the type to talk about it if she were followed around. Thank you, River Bluff. Thank you for joining in, and good luck to you there. And keep us posted what's happening. He says, "God bless, and I'm praying for all of us." Thank you, thank you. Oh, they ruined your trail. That is so disgusting. Yeah. Dealing with a honeypot now acts like he's a man of God while doing evil, very demented and very telling, and lets me know what to teach my kids. The enemy is working round the clock. Remember the photo I sent of the smear? Yes, 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 I do. Yes, you had a smear on your doorknob, and I had a smear on the glass on my front door. I know you want to catch them so bad. Well, that's why the reason you can't catch them is because they are the military that's doing that evil stuff. They move around fast. Remember that book I was reading, Camellia? They said that they're like ballerinas. They like do pirouettes around your property. They hide behind trees, according to Kay Griggs. They like to play pranks on people. They're very immature, according to Kay Griggs. And according to Camelio, they are like ballerinas. They're hiding. They're cloaked. They're frogging. Phrogging. They're frogging on the property. Yes, they're gay. Yes, that's exactly what Kay Griggs said. She said they're perverted and gay. She said at the very minimum, they're bisexual. Let's see, what did they do to your trailer, Pamela? I knew somebody that had a trailer, it was absolutely trashed. Once she became ill, they like to get a family member sick and then they destroy the homes. Yes, you have to be a soulless psychopath to do this and then lay down and go to sleep. Well, they are soulless psychopaths and they are abusers. Yes, I'm sure that in their own family homes that there's probably abuse going on. I'm not going to say all of them, but uh, I would imagine so. I won't say that, SDL. You wonder if they wear a tutu. Yeah, a camouflage tutu. A cloaked tutu. Hi, David. Welcome, welcome. So good to see you. Hi, Stephen. Welcome. Do you think they're microchip pets? So that they. Oh, okay. Well, I'm going to tell you something about that. In New Jersey, when I had the feral cat colony, many of my cats were microchipped. I will never do it again because I believe that that is how they were able to delete some of my healthy young cats. They were just able to do it that way. The gay mafia got into the military. Yeah, I would never microchip an animal again, but they can microchip your pets without your knowing it. Don't ask, don't tell. Let's see, masquerading as BDE. Well, thank you, Stephen. Thank you. I appreciate you guys. You had a cat that was microchipped from the animal control rescue. Well, yes, when I moved here, several of my cats were chipped. But the ones that are here now, none of them are. I mean, unless somebody chips them. But if somebody chips them, I have a microchip scanner. See, it could be the microwave technology they use on us makes me tired. It's very tiring. Like, I am so sleep deprived. It's unbelievable. I'm so tired. And the thing is, like, I can't catch up on sleep because I have to get up at a certain time in the morning to take care of the animals. They hit, let's see, Eden says, they hit my cat that's chipped. She runs like she's being shocked, which she is. I know exactly what you're talking about. You can see it when it's happening. Do I think owning cats in the suburbs is pointless? I feel like a city communities hate animals. this is the way I look at it: is targeted or not, the shelters are overrun with animals. A lot of people during the CV, they were home and they adopted a lot of pets since they were home. Then when everybody went back to work, then they couldn't take care of their pets anymore. Then the economy dropped and they're getting rid of their animals in droves. So I would rather see any animal out of an animal shelter in the arms of a targeted person, 1000%. Because even a targeted person is going to give that animal a much better life than that animal in a shelter. Absolutely. And in addition, because the shelters are so overcrowded, there's a good chance that the animals that are there, if they don't get adopted out, will be euthanized. And that's just a fact. So that's how I look at it. Let's see. Your neighbor has a fake nonprofit. I believe he collects money for cats. Well, if it's a fake nonprofit, that's not good. I mean, I would imagine you can report that. Like, you can't say that you have a company if you don't have a company. That you have a nonprofit if you don't have a nonprofit. You can't say these things. Um, you didn't know back 14 years ago when you got your chip. She has 4 tumors now. It makes you so sad. I know. Who knew? They never told us what the negative side effects would be. I will never microchip a cat ever again. You love animals more than humans. Well, animals do not have an agenda. They just are. They just are. Yes, they make it very difficult. Well, they destroyed my lawnmower. I had a lawnmower. Hi, Valjud. Welcome, welcome. You get dog hair, bugs, leaf sticks, or bugs on porch. No way it's the winds. Missing things always. Seems like jealous creeps. Oh, they're definitely jealous. It's funny how your magpie friends always poo on your Grandstalker's car. Let's see, they become the bird. So anyway, I have a couple of books here. I have not seen Foxy today, or I'm trying to think if I think I saw Foxy in the morning, yesterday morning. Yeah, Foxy's been around a lot more lately, but I did not see Foxy today. So I put some food out for Foxy just in case she shows up. Yeah, Foxy's been around. Oh, the baby raccoons, they were on the porch tonight. And they're very cute. But they're going to grow up. They're going to get bigger. And what it's not that I don't like raccoons. I do. But they eat so much of the cat food, and I have too many cats now. And my cat food bill is crazy off the charts. So the raccoons are eating all the food that is intended for the cats. Mail them to you. Oh boy. They're cute. They are cute. And they're not bad. It's not like they're bad or anything like that. But but some of them fight. Hi, so geometric. Welcome, welcome. Thank you. Thank you for all joining in. Remember to hit the thumbs up, everybody. I've got a couple of things that I'm going to read from the books that I pulled out, and what I have here is I've read some from this book before. The Wickedness of the Wicked, Exposed and Defeated: How God Turns the Wicked Schemes into Your Testimony and Subdues Satanic Authorities that War Against Your Destiny. And then I've got John Hall's Guinea Pigs, Technology of Control, that I'll read a little bit of uh, from. Let's see, creepy. Creepy is perving. Let's see. Let's see. Your vet kept insisting on the distemper. Well, I'm gonna, my opinion. It's my opinion. I don't like those things for either cats or dogs. There has never been a study, ever, 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 ever. There's never been a study that getting one rabies vaccine doesn't last the lifetime of an animal. There's absolutely no reason to have it every year. It's actually very bad for your animal. And that's a fact. Because I was researching this when I was in New Jersey, and there are veterinarians out there that will tell you that. And there are no studies. There are intentionally no studies. It's sort of like there are no studies about the long-term effects of the ADHD. I'm not going to go into it because I don't want, the live stream to be scrapped. But there are no long-term studies, and that's carefully designed. And they do make animals sick, and it depends on the age of the animal. The younger the animal, the worse it is. Absolutely, the younger, the worse. Yep, the diarrhea, the rash, the lethargy, absolutely. Well, I'm absolutely convinced that these criminals came in and did that to a couple of my cats because they went from being perfectly healthy to having exactly what you're describing. You have raccoons are adorable when they eat. It's like they have little human hands. But also, you know what they do on the porch is they steal the dish. Like if I go out there and try to take the dish, they'll literally pull it out of my hands and like drag it around the porch, tumble all the food out of it. Yeah, I'm going to read a little bit from that book, The Guinea Pig. I'm going to read something from there and something from here. I just need to take a sip of my coconut water here. And it just occurred to me that I have water boiling on the stove for coffee. So give me a 1 minute break so I can turn it off. I'll be right back. What? Want to go outside? Yeah? Hey guys, I'm going to be 1 more minute. I have to open up the cats building. I have one of my cats that needs to go in there. I thought she was already in there. I'll be right back. Hey guys, we go home? I'm back. One second. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back. I got to see a deer outside too. Let me see what you guys. What did I miss here? Let's see. Um, Let me scroll up and see. Let's see. They're messing with your phone tonight. Keep picking. Oh, they're kicking you out of the chat. Oh, you had to restart your phone. Yeah, midway, like we're at the 11 o'clock mark. Like usually an hour in, there's advertisement. Creepy needs to be stopped. Hi, Secret. Welcome. Welcome. Remember to hit the thumbs up, guys. Let's see. You're following the flock. Yes, the flock camera issue. You've been tracked by them. They use them to set you up in other crimes. It's crazy. A lot of people are complaining about the flock cameras. A lot. I don't know what that is. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I didn't know what that was. You watch the ads through because I know it helps Lorraine. Thank you. Enough corruption. I love some of your names. I need to get myself another. Oh goodness, guys. Somebody has to hit the thumbs up. It says 33. We've got to switch it to 34. We don't want that 3333 around here. Somebody hit the thumbs up, please. I don't know what that means. It's weird because it's a feature that that I recently enabled, but I don't really know what it means. Maybe it just kind of boosts the the video or something. I know, right? Unk means uncle. For the 44 jewels, what your screen shows 34, mine shows 33. But I have an old laptop, so it probably didn't update. Oh, you're kidding. What a coincidence. When you posted a flock camera in Facebook group for your state this week and posted a comment about it, you had number 33 state trooper out by your home stalking you, and you live in the country. Oh, it's a slang. It's a slang. Okay. Yeah, I had that too. It means an old person alert. Let's see. Hi, Mrs. Matson. Welcome. Yes, they've been messing with your phone too. I had that flash on my screen too. I didn't know what that meant. It was weird. All right, I'm gonna get the chapter out to read to you guys. Let's see. Are the cameras in the retail stores part of the flock camera system? Cause they have used to try to set me up in retail stores. Oh, it's the extra jewels to support the channel. 440 of them. Thank you. Thank you. Oh, yes, they are. I know it's very confusing because I'm not familiar with it. They're all new ways to send gifts using popular terms. Okay. I know it's like a new feature that YouTube came out with. And I just clicked on, yes, I just clicked on the turn it on. And I've seen it pop up like in some of the comments section, like somebody will hit like a Jules thing. Yeah, we should change our names. I know I need a really cool name. I'm going to read a comment that was under the coercive control, diabolical tactics of gang stalking, a video. Hi, Lorraine. In my situation, I came to realize the intent, even during marriage, was to get me isolated, to ensure that I had no support, to take away my ability to get jobs, to build a criminal profile. Then came the violence, the electronic assaults, false reports to agencies, etc. I have had accidents, deflated and flattened tires. Giant nails were found in my tires, rusted nails found near my vehicles, broken windshield, all came after the separation. And I'm still living this nightmare, of course. I am so sorry to hear that, period. And what you described is very common about the nails and the tires, period. I have found nails next to my tires here, like right under the tires. And I find rusted nails all over the property anyway. Let's see. You just Google what it said. We should change our names. Let's see. The ones in the stores are part of their own private system. Block cameras are government. Okay, so what I'm going to read here is first, I'm going to read The Wickedness of the Wicked, Exposed and Defeated. How God turns the wicked schemes into your testimony and subdues satanic authorities that war against your destiny. So, the portion that I'm going to read is Weapons Against Manipulation and Deception. The greatest weapon against manipulation and deception is spiritual discernment. Discernment is not suspicion, it's the supernatural ability to perceive the true nature of a person, word, spirit, or environment. Corinthians 12:10. You defeat manipulation when you stop responding emotionally and start responding spiritually. A praying believer filled with the Holy Ghost and anchored in Scripture is the enemy's worst nightmare. Fasting, persistent prayer, and soaking in God's presence expose and break the power of controlling spirits. Decrees based on truth cut through the fog of deception. The sword of the Spirit, God's word, is the ultimate weapon to dismantle demonic logic. Another vital weapon is renunciation. You must verbally and spiritually renounce every agreement, lie, or emotional bonds that manipulation and deception established in your life. Declare freedom over your mind, emotions, and will. Ask the Lord to break every soul tie to manipulative people or deceptive ideologies. God, in His mercy, often uses seasons of deception to awaken His people. What was meant to derail can become your training ground for discernment. Many believers find their prophetic edge sharpened only after walking through the fog of manipulation. When your eyes are open, God gives you a mandate to help others see too. Your warfare becomes someone else's deliverance manual. This is why the wicked hate exposure. Once deception is unmasked, its power is destroyed. When manipulation is discerned, its control is broken. The voice of the Lord always brings clarity, not confusion. It brings truth, not pressure. It brings peace, not control. In this hour, God is raising a remnant with eyes like eagles, hearts trained in righteousness, and spirits that cannot be manipulated. These warriors are immune to flattery, resistant to control, and lovers of truth. They're the ones who will expose the wicked, defeat their devices, and establish the dominion of truth over every battleground. You are called to be one of them. And that's why you're chosen one, right? Financial attacks and invisible leaks. And this is what they do to us all the time. The battle over financial stability is not always economic. It is often spiritual. Many believers find themselves working tirelessly, yet having little to show for it. They experience cycles of sudden lack, inexplicable debts, mismanagement, and recurring crises that swallow resources. These are not always mere financial missteps. In spiritual warfare, such occurrences may be orchestrated attacks from the kingdom of darkness to cripple, distract, and ultimately destroy the believer from their divine purpose. Financial attacks are strategic spiritual weapons used by the wicked to frustrate destinies and hinder kingdom advancement. And the spirit realm recognizes wealth as a weapon. In the realm of the spirit, wealth is not just currency, it's influence, access, and kingdom mobility. This is why the enemy wages war against the finances of God's people. Financial bondage makes prayer burdensome, service to God difficult, and obedience to divine instructions harder. The enemy understands that if he can drain your financial lifeline, he can paralyze your spiritual progress. Spiritual warfare in this dimension requires believers to view their finances not as a personal luxury, but as divine instruments under threat. Satanic financial embargoes and demonic taxation. One of the most sinister forms of financial warfare is the imposition of demonic embargoes. These are invisible restrictions placed over one's income, business, or ability to increase. A person may be qualified, talented, and even anointed, yet face inexplicable resistance to wealth acquisition. Opportunities evaporate, clients disappear, promotions bypass them. When a financial embargo is in place, nothing flows as it should. Additionally, demonic taxation is a tactic used by satanic agents to siphon money through medical emergencies, car breakdowns, unnecessary lawsuits, repeated repairs, or addicted dependence. These drains are spiritually engineered to dry up financial rivers. Scripture calls them holes in your bag. Until the root is dealt with, money will continue to flow in and leak out mysteriously. Let's see, your neighbor had a guy that filmed her in a jacuzzi, and through her trailer wall, focusing on neither region, and tried to get a restraining order. Thank God that judge said no way. Thank you. Thank you for the star. Thank you for the 2 jewels. Thank you, Mrs. Matson. Those drones will have cameras on them, and I'm sure they will be used for surveillance as well. Thank you so much. So when I'm reading, I don't, the chat scrolls so quickly, I don't get to see, what it is that you're saying. As you saw a video where they were dropping deliveries and damaging items. Oh, I've seen those too. It's showing up on people's Ring cameras. Let's see, you're in your area. Amazon was just approved to use drones to deliver packages in one city, a suburb. Can you imagine seeing drones everywhere? You're trying to enjoy looking at the sky or sun, and you've got a drone. Let's see, watch a TikTok on a new streetlight with cameras and purple hue lights. Garbage trucks with cameras going to film the homes as they collect the trash to issue code violations. Thank you, Annie. Thank you so much. Oh, that's so cute. Thank you. These perps just buy the meta glasses. Thank you. Thank you for the 800 jewels. Let's see, you pray the code enforcers speak up. They're being chewed out of a job. Well, that's true. Brian Cochran said that Amazon was heavily involved. I've seen that myself personally, and I'm sure they will equip them and tie the cameras in. And one of our subscribers, Lloyd Hamilton, in his testimony mentioned that about Amazon. You've not left your house in 2 years. Oh my goodness. Thank goodness the pandemic taught me how to live inside. It was the only way to minimize the harassment. I hear what you're saying. Do you know that I can't stay inside because I have to care for cats and animals, and even getting to my mailbox I have to walk down my driveway and stuff. But I think it was in 9 months I did not use my car. So I was parked here, just starting it up, running the battery and stuff, and I had not gone into town in 9 months. Yeah, Amazon drivers have stalked you and also opened your packages. Yeah, it depends on who the Amazon driver is. I haven't had a lot of problems with Amazon. Not well, at least not recently. I mean, I have in the past, definitely. So they have real-time tracking of your movements. They get set up where your appointments are going to be. They come inside where I am and arrive at your house when you do. Yeah, I just don't know what they're using the drones for. I mean, obviously they're spying, but for what purpose? Let's see, how can they actually get the packages to the right place? My food order goes to my neighbors more often than not. Oh, yes, yes. Oh, absolutely. Whenever I go into town, there are cars everywhere. You can see them, the one headlight. They hide behind signs in town, at corners like alleyways and stuff. Oh, definitely. It's just even when my car is working, it's such a pain locking everything up just to go into town. I mean, it literally takes me at least a half an hour to close everything up. It's just so annoying. It's very inconvenient. Yeah, I depend on Amazon a lot also. Look at the phallic symbol on the side of the truck. Well, that's so interesting that you say that. Oh, yes, Amazon is a Mason. Like if you write the word Amazon and then you separate the A, and then it's like a Mason. Very interesting. Very interesting. Yes. And the phallic symbol on the side of their truck. Yeah, the arrow. The arrow. And in some of the Mickey Mouse cartoons, they have the phallic symbols there also. Walt Disney. The cat that was supposed to go into the cat building next door is sitting right here. She wouldn't go in. And meanwhile, when I was in New Jersey, I was out all the time. I never really limited what I did or where I went until it was like the last year of the targeting because they were doing so much damage to the house and the cats. Let's see, Sabrina Wallace mentioned the drones read our biometrics remotely. I mean, that's so sick, so creepy. Like, why? Like, what is the purpose? Why? Like, why is that important? They're running a staged accident ring in your county. Twice I was stopped appropriately, yet my car was crashed by a CL4LE. Somehow they tried to make it my fault. They did that to a targeted person, Karen Romero. She was a nurse. She's not with us anymore. But they gave her 3 car accidents in a year. They love a staged car accidents. I usually get 3 accidents a day. Once a month? That's a lot. They also love to come shoot their guns outside my window. Oh, that happens here. That happens here too. And they don't understand. I grew up in the Bronx. Like everybody thinks like that I'm from New Jersey. I'm not from New Jersey. I lived in New Jersey for 30 years, but I'm from New York. I am a New Yorker. Oh, they're in the same place. Well, that's really suspicious if they're in the same place. It is scary. Like at first, like when I first moved here, it was scary. Now I don't even really care. As long as you don't do it on my property. I understand that some people actually like to, you know, play with their weapons. They like to practice and stuff. Just don't do it on my property. Let's see, remember before you knew what was going on, took a shortcut through an alley and there were 2 guys hiding in the dumpsters. That is weird. Oh, well, wait a minute. That happened in New Jersey. But what they were doing was they were actually dealing drugs. That's what I saw. They were like, I guess they were. That's what they were doing. I witnessed that. Let's see. You thought one of them may have. They do stage traffic stops too, where they run their lights at the target. Let's see. The biometrics are a form of data trafficking. They get paid. Yeah. So I remember like in New Jersey, whenever I would drive, there was always somebody trailing me. First, there would be the car that like is like right up my butt, and then they back off, and then there's somebody behind them, and then they follow you around. And then the ones that do the U-turns in front of you, they're not letting you chat tonight. Have you tried to write something in the chat that didn't show up? So I'm going to read a couple of paragraphs from the guinea pigs book, if my cat lets me, because she's like purring all over me. Let me see. Okay, this is John Hall, Guinea Pigs, Technology of Control, and it's chapter 8, Targeted Individuals. They were allowed to torment them for 5 months, but not kill them, and their torment was like the torment of a scorpion when it stings someone, Revelation 9:5. Assuming the government's intelligence agencies and DOD haven't suddenly starting obeying the legal guidelines of the common rule or moral suggestions of the Nuremberg Code, one subset of the population does seem to be suffering as unwitting guinea pigs of government-sponsored experimentation. Given the United States government's history of using the public in non-consensual experimentation, it would be illogical to think that they have suddenly stopped, especially when much of the technologies being currently tested can be used remotely. For decades, beginning with MK Ultra and its related projects, the governments of most of the industrialized nations have been searching for reliable ways to control the masses. While most of us are familiar with the control that can be gained through guns, taxes, and the media, few are familiar with the weapons mentioned in this book that rely on the electromagnetic spectrum. Fewer still understand. Hi, targeted Patton. Welcome, welcome. I haven't seen you in a while. I haven't even seen you post. Let's see. Fewer still understand the strange susceptibility that the human nervous system has to electromagnetic energy. Throughout history, certain segments of the population have felt the need to separate themselves from government and thrive based upon their own self-reliance. The Amish religious sect is an excellent example of this, although they have succumbed somewhat to governmental intrusion through allowing their children to attend public school system. This single allowance has reduced the number of individuals remaining in the sect, however, secondary to the exposure of their youth to modernization. Other fringe religious groups, as well as survivalist groups, have also fled to rural areas to escape the ever-watching eye of Big Brother. Until recently, escaping to agricultural areas where one could live off the land, one could successfully move themselves from the grid. Well, that is not happening here in Kentucky. Oh, we've got the sirens going down the county road at 11:36 p.m. STL says, thank God I don't drive. I've heard horrible stalking happens to targets who drive, like being run off the road. We are experiments to refine and perfect the surveillance state. Then they will keep rolling it out on more and more people to control the population. Let's see. However, the relative resistance of these groups to the traditional control mechanisms of taxation, bureaucracy, and the media did eventually invoke the ire of the federal government. Labeled as potential domestic terrorists, many of these groups have been infiltrated by FBI agents for closer observation. In several extreme cases of governmental intervention, these groups were forced to comply with governmental control by force. The reader may remember the tragedies that occurred at Ruby Ridge and the Branch Davidian compound, where government agencies did resort to force to disrupt these groups. The federal government, realizing that the American public would not continue to tolerate armed attacks on its citizens, began to look for more covert ways to exercise control over these agriculturally independent populations. Let's see, Target Patent says, I've been laying low, keeping some desperate stalkers wondering when I'm going to expose them. Yes, I guess that is one of their fears, right? Definitely one of their fears that they're going to be exposed. But they're foolish because they give themselves away. They do stupid, stupid things. So they expose their own selves. Like the landscaper. Labeled as potential domestic terrorists, many of these groups have been infiltrated by FBI agents for closer observation. In several extreme cases of governmental intervention, these groups were forced to comply with governmental control by force. The reader may remember the tragedies that occurred at Ruby Ridge. I read that already. The federal government, realizing that the American public would not continue to tolerate these armed attacks on its citizens, began to look for more covert ways to exercise control over these agriculturally independent populations. This is not to infer that the individuals suffering at the hands of the current technological experimentation fit into the category of separatists. In most cases, they do not appear to be separatists, radical, or anti government. I am merely attempting to explain from a governmental viewpoint their plausible need to develop more sophisticated means of controlling the population. The governments from every industrial nation no longer seeks to merely govern their people. The emphasis has changed from governing populations to controlling populations, with the United Nations helping pave the way through a myriad of programs. The group feeling the brunt of the slow conversation from representative to mental totalitarianism refers to themselves as targeted individuals or TIs. This rapidly growing group of individuals is the one voicing the complaints of exposure to electromagnetic technologies meant to alter cognition and physiology. While many of these accounts could have written off as mental illness a decade ago, the frequency and similarity of complaints being vocalized currently point toward a much different ideology. The lack of legislation against non consensual experimentation, the willingness of the government to participate in non consensual experimentation, and the known research and development of electromagnetic weapons validate these claims as probable covert experimentation. I've interviewed thousands of people voicing these complaints, both alone and through Freedom for Covert Surveillance and Harassment, an advocacy organization offering support to the victims. My descriptions of the experience of these targeted individuals is based upon my interviews as well as statistical data provided by the FFCHS through extensive surveys that they regularly conduct. And of note, the FFCHS is not the only support group that has formed. Many other support groups have developed to handle the exponentially growing number of complaints that are being voiced. Let's see, they go after children to make sure you're quiet. It's SRA. Yes, DL says, I can't imagine what it's like to not only be targeted, but to worry about your children and family. I have no children, and one family member left. Yes, it is disgusting. Satanic ritual abuse. I would venture to say that everything satanic is disgusting. And that's just my opinion, based upon experience. Selection of a target may be for a myriad of reasons. At the local level, one must remember this technology is not available to the average person. The groups perpetuating this type of experimentation are given access to the technology as covert, independent contractors of the government agencies responsible for its development. I'm going to repeat that. The groups perpetrating this type of experimentation are given access to the technology as covert, independent contractors of the government agencies responsible for its development. I don't know if you heard that. I don't know if that's like a big thunder boom. Let's say they turned on, well, I'm not going to say that. Let's see, they targeted patent, it does work. Most TIs stop speaking out politically or otherwise. Let's see. The groups perpetrating this type of experimentation are given access to the technology as covert, independent contractors of the government agencies responsible for its development. This research is a continuation of earlier behavioral control operations, which were mostly done through front companies. The current experimentation is no different. The groups given access to the technology are allowed to choose victims for any reason that they deem necessary. The agencies behind the technology are merely interested in collecting the data on its success or failures. Therefore, as the data is collected at the top from each of the many perpetrator groups, the selection of victims probably appears random. The selection demographics look very different at the local level. Let's see, they get out all your electronics and all your data. Oh, they're definitely in my phone and my email. While a small number of victims have come forward with convincing evidence of direct harassment from various government agencies, these are mostly whistleblowers employed by the same agencies and comprise the minority. Most victims are everyday people who would be considered quote unquote common by most standards. Through interviews and questionnaires, we have found some trends among the victim population. A large percentage of the victims are female. Most of these female victims have reported drug facilitated rape and sexual assault. This is probably not a part of the experimentation as much as a representation of the criminal nature of the perpetrator group. While grape has been used in the past as part of a mental reprogramming through trauma, it appears that it's been more of a perk among the current experimental perpetrators. Nonetheless, it's no less physically traumatic and psychologically damaging to the victim. One group of victims in Palm Springs, California, does appear to be targeted sexually. This group is mostly gay men being audibly harassed by the same female voice through the microwave auditory effect, as well as being victimized through drug assisted sexual assault. Let's see, what are you saying? This is the. Hi, Lorna, welcome. It's hard to speak up when the dark occult stuff sounds insane to those not going through it. That's very true. And most people are completely unaware of it, what it is, what it does, of what it looks like. Let's see, there are quite a few waking up that I've never seen in groups. They need to hear from us. Business reform isn't coming to my area, but he's going to 25 different cities. Well, that's good. Okay, so we've got some thunder going on in the background. I'm not surprised because they've been spraying the skies like crazy. Like they even spray the skies at night. Surveillance of the chosen target closely follows selection. The surveillance phase differs from the stalking phase in that the surveillance phase, the target is unaware. Surveillance accomplishes several important goals that are integral to the success of the remainder of the operation. It allows the perpetrator to accurately determine the target's daily activities. Most importantly, where they live, work, bank, and how they spend their leisure time is quickly assessed. The people they spend the majority of their time with are of the identities. Let's see where I just missed my spot here. Oh, it's raining now. It's raining pretty hard right now. Let's see. It's all connected. The rest will come out when people start connecting the dots. Thank you for the jewels, Blossom. Welcome, Blossom. Thank you, thank you. I appreciate that. The people they spend the majority of their time with are identified and scaled in order of importance. For instance, highly valued circumferential targets would include the target's close family members, supervisors, physicians, clergy, and anyone that they may spend a substantial time communicating with. This allows the perpetrators to know with reasonable certainty who the target will confide in once there are a number, once they are aware of their targeting. Yes, we need to know what to start. What we know right now. Cell phones, flock cameras are used to track us 24/7. Experimental subjects for the surveillance system. Sometimes when I'm out, I realize how hungry I am for closeness with people. Well, we are born into this life to communicate and have relationships. We were not placed on this planet to live alone. We were not placed on this planet to not talk to each other. We were not placed on this planet to not love or feel or procreate. We were not placed here to stalk other people. That's not why we were placed on the planet. That's not why we were born here. That's not our destiny. Yes, we need to keep pushing for transparency regarding the mass Fourth Amendment violations taking place. Let's see, you used to date a guy who played the ukulele. I swear he's singing along with George Michael on YouTube. They love to make us sound crazy or discredit us by using active denial tactics and misdirection. I'm sorry, guys. If you watch some of the things that my neighbors do, you would be shaking your heads. Like, you got to be kidding me. Oh, it's raining pretty hard now. I didn't think it was going to rain this hard. Let me see. I'm going to check the weather quickly. Now, this rain that just popped up here at midnight, 1, 2, 3 a.m., this was not forecasted for today. This was just like concocted now. Because I checked the weather like literally all day long. There was no rain in the forecast. No thunder in the forecast, so they probably just sprayed the skies and said, "Oh, you know what? We're just going to make it rain over Lorraine's property because she didn't get to have her grass cut." Targeted individuals have pure heart posture and a thirst for truth. Yes, we are the sane ones. I'm always very careful what I say and phrase it in ways that they can relate to. Very limited, but to let some of it out once in a while. Lorna says, you get to the point where you don't trust anyone. That's what they want. That is what they want. They don't want you to trust people. They want to change who you are as a person. They want to change what they look like. They want to change your health. They want to change everything about you. This is sick. Like, it's a behavior modification program. Also, like Brian Coffrin has specifically mentioned that it is a behavior modification program, and that they tend to target people who are highly intelligent. Perps are almost always narcissists, which is most people these days. Let's see, Illinois didn't get any rain today. Usually Kentucky gets it right after we do. Oh, we have rain right now. Like, we had a big thunder boom, and now it's raining. And it's supposed to rain now until 2 o'clock in the morning. 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. It's funny how you thought that we were the sane ones most of my life, sane in an unsane world. STL, thank you for joining in. And STL is going to bed. And actually, we're all maybe going to bed, or I will be signing off in 5 minutes. Thank you so much. Thank you for joining in, your comments, because I learn a lot from you guys too. So, like, it's 11:56 p.m. Let's see, Pam says, I believe isolation leaves us lonely. I've always relied only on myself. I like being alone. Well, there's nothing wrong with being alone. Let's see. So is that going to end up making its way to Pennsylvania soon? I don't know. You mean the weather? I don't know. I have not checked. Like, I usually check with Ryan Hall, y'all. He's got a weather map on his YouTube channel, but I don't know what the weather map is right now. I have an app on my phone, like a weather app, and it's just showing that, like, there's thunder and lightning and rain forecasted for the next hour. Although it says, and again, it did not have this forecast earlier today, to 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Let's see, Powers Bova says, I don't have any choice about isolating this. Literally, this entire county has smeared me into a pariah, lost all friends and family. Let's see, they mess with my phone so much tonight. They're scared of what I have to say. Little cowards. The truth terrifies them. Targeted Pet says, I didn't mow my grass either. Well, mine is not intentional. My landscaper, who I've had, since the beginning of the year, the mowing season, decided his wife was going to vandalize the property and then quit. So that's something a perpetrator does. Somebody who's been bribed and blackmailed, sold his soul to the devil. So now my grass is going to grow with all this water, with all this rain, and the grass that wasn't cut is going to grow also. Let's see, dogs are wonderful. I have a cat too. The muffler fell off your mower. Oh, that's not good. That was probably sabotaged, given what these criminals do. Hi, Mark Allen. Welcome, welcome. You're late, so we're going to be closing up here. We're going to be closing the live stream in a couple of minutes. So I want to thank everybody for joining in, and thank you, Joe, for being moderator. I know that everybody's got a busy schedule. And I thank everybody for joining in, for commenting on the videos, for the jewels and the thumbs up and all those cute little thingies, the little emojis that you leave. Don't let them get to you. Stand with your head held high and know that after this life, you will have a very special place in heaven. Yeah, your boy sabotaged it when he used it last. Oh no, that's not good. Well, I hope everybody has a wonderful rest of the evening. Thank you so much for joining in. I appreciate you guys. And welcome to all the newcomers that have joined the channel and the live stream, providing your feedback. If anybody is interested in offering their testimony, I usually accept them in writing. I don't have a lot of time, with all the animals that I care for here. So if anybody wants to provide a written testimony, I'm happy to read it on the channel. Or if you have a before targeting, like how wonderful you were before you were targeted, and to let people know, what you did, what you did for a living, and the kind of friends that you had and stuff like that, and what life was like for you before, and how it was taken away from you because of this program. It really is against everybody's constitutional rights, and I definitely heard that the U.S. has placed some wording in laws behind our backs that they are allowed to experiment on the general population without letting us know about it. Well, I don't accept that. I'm sorry. I don't appreciate that. Well, thank you so much, Targeted Patent. And thank you, everybody, for joining in. And we are a community, and we are better together. We're strong together. And you are not alone. You're not crazy. You're not schizophrenic, and you're not delusional. They are. And that's the easiest way to tell who a perpetrator is, especially online, is when people leave those comments about you. Okay? So you're very welcome. And thank everybody for joining in. And once again, you're not alone. You're not crazy. And have a wonderful night. You are children of God. You have a destiny that you were born into this lifetime to love and appreciate and share the truth about things. Let's see, they made it legal when they passed the Cures Act in 2016. Okay, that's what I was looking for. That's exactly it. The Cures Act. In fact, I'm going to write that down. Yeah, that, and of course they don't tell people about that. Oh, you're so welcome, Annie. Thank you all for joining in. And thank you. Joe says, may you all have a good night with pleasant dreams. See, Jesse Beltran has a petition to try to get it repealed. Oh, okay. Well, that's a great idea. That's a good idea. And it should be repealed. And because most people don't even know what it is. I'm going to have to actually do a little research on it because I just heard about it recently. So thank you so much, everybody. Have a good night. It is raining here. I am going to have to get one of my cats back next door, but I don't want to get wet. But yes, I'm praying for everybody too. It's Act 30 something. Yes. All right. Well, I'm going to end the live stream now. Thank you all for joining in and have a great night, everybody. Talk to you guys soon.